Welcome, students, to another episode of Manhood Academy Podcasting. Whoa, it looks like from this side over here that the mic level is really high on this side. I've got a brand new mic that I just got for this, and so this maiden voyage that we got going here. I'm actually going to see if I can actually do... No, I can't do this with a computer too far away because we actually have to cover topics, but I'm going to try and keep the microphone over here when I'm talking away from the computer, so I get as little feedback as possible. It's a noise canceling mic, so it shouldn't pick up like too many of the echoes. Hopefully you guys shouldn't be hearing any echo from me back there, or when you're speaking, I should say. I'm going to call you, and call roll here, and you guys respond and let me know if you hear any echo. DKO, speak up.
Yeah.
Boggles.
Yeah.
You guys are together. You guys hear any echo over there?
No. Echo, no, I heard something through TV or something. Oh, no, they're speaking. Okay. No.
All right. Thank you. Tim W.
Here.
Leo.
No. Perfect.
BZS.
I'm here.
High School 101.
Here.
DVP.
Here.
Paperclip.
Yo.
Snaky Guy.
Yep.
All right. Sounds good. Did I miss anybody?
Paperclip. Yeah, Blue.
Blue. Oh, Blue. You came in late. I didn't see
I'm
you.
still left out. Kind of a fan right now.
Well, welcome back to class. And don't break any desks. Anybody else that I missed?
You got Timmy?
Yeah, we got him. Okay. Sweet. Let's get this rolling. Make sure that mine isn't muted yet. Hold on. Let's make sure your chat window is clicked off, the volume, I should say, in the chat room. And let's get right over to...
How do you do that?
Go down to the bottom of the chat room and click on the little speaker. And then let's go over to film and lecture. Everybody should start in the film and lecture section whenever you start the podcast, and you should be on the podcasting topic because it's the very top sticky post. All right, so the first thing on today's agenda is the critique of DKO's expression posts. Actually, before we start everything, I think we actually covered this last week, so I'm actually going to delete this one. But before we start everything, I want to see, how was everybody's holidays? You guys have a forever alone holiday, or did you hang out with family or friends? What did you guys do? Let's see, Snaky Guy, what's up?
Hanukkah has been enjoyable.
Oh, Hanukkah. We got a Hanukkah guy. So you have are you still in the middle of Hanukkah?
Yeah, it's winding down.
Are you on day number 4 of the candles, or what?
Nah, it's like the last day, basically.
Do you get a present each day?
Not my family does it, because my dad's Christian.
Right.
So we do Christmas in my house, and then whenever I find the Jewish family and we say hi, that I'm related to,
right,
we just do all the presents then.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, that's about it.
So that's all that happened?
Yeah, I went up to Philly, and it's not that interesting.
Well, nothing you say is interesting. That's the problem. I'm not looking for interesting events that happen to you. I'm looking for you to make it interesting. How are you supposed to make things interesting when you're talking to me if you have nothing interesting going on with you?
I'm meant to express myself.
You just express yourself?
I said I was meant to. I didn't do it just there.
Okay. So what makes you... What would make me interested in hearing from you? Put it that way. You said nothing interesting happened to you. So you didn't... there was no planes crashing overhead. No fireworks happened in your house. No grisly murders, no lottery winnings, nothing interesting outside you happened. So how could you make this an interesting conversation with me if nothing interesting happened to you?
By conveying my reaction.
Okay, so why don't you do that?
Because that's the kind of thing I normally need to think out. And
okay, why don't you think about it? This is a prime opportunity right now. I could just talk to you about your Hanukkah experience. So you woke up and Hanukkah happened, right? And that's it? What happened during Hanukkah?
Not much, because we haven't gone down to see the Jewish portion of my family yet, so I'm still kind of just waiting to do that. Because they're pretty awesome, but I have to wait till my parents can say, okay, we're going down to New Jersey.
Okay, so your parents say, okay, we're going down to New Jersey. Why did you say it in that kind of like a mocking, ridiculing tone? What is that? Why did you say it in that particular way?
Because New Jersey's awful.
So you hate it?
I hate New Jersey.
Okay, so you're sharing a reaction with me. That's interesting to me. I didn't know New Jersey sucked to you. Some people like New Jersey. You hate New Jersey. So there's your personal reaction. Now I'm interested. Keep going.
Keep going.
What do you get about New Jersey?
I've never liked New Jersey. I've lived there twice. Both times sucked. I still remember this first time. I think I was 5 or something. I still remember this asshole across the street who kept teasing me.
This guy has the best stories ever. Snaky guy. Where have you been, man?
Okay. I'm not really sure on that one.
I said this guy's awesome. I'm actually interested in your stories. I was like, well, there's a person behind Snaky guy, behind the robot Snaky guy, behind the Terminator Snaky guy. There's an interesting fellow.
Does that mean I have to keep going?
Yes.
I want to stop this as soon as possible.
Come on, panicky Snaky guy. Let's go.
This boy did to you. How did you pick on it?
I don't even remember. It's really, really vague. I just remember it probably something stupid, like he wouldn't let me play with a toy or something. I just remember we got into like whatever little fight 5-year-olds get into. I never wanted to go over to his house, but every time my parents wanted to do something else, they made me go over there. I was fucking hated that kid.
Wow, it reminds me of this kid I used to go over. He lived behind my house, right? And he was like this. You'd think he's like kind of like this innocent guy, and he is somewhat somewhat benign by himself. But his older brother was a total dick. He was about I would say not quite twice as tall as us, but he looked like basically an adult. You know, when you're a little kid, we were like probably let me think, maybe 10 years old, maybe a little younger. So we were little short guys, right? And this guy was probably, just under adult height, but to him, he looked like a full-grown adult to us. And I'm not sure if I'm not sure he had made high school just yet. But he would take rocks and have like a dirt clods. We had like a big park outside, and he'd get like dirt clods that were just dried rocks, basically. And he would look for the rocks, and he would actually find rocks too. And he would have dirt clod fights with us. And we weren't even aware we were playing. He would just start throwing rocks or dirt clods at us across the street. So it was this dude was pretty hardcore. Like at a moment's notice, you could be over his house. I'd go over his house because he had all the gaming systems. We'd be playing video games. And then all of a sudden he'd come over and he'd be like a total dick. But if we ever went outside, it was on. He would just like find anything and just start hurling at us.
Anything?
Anything. Like he was throwing rocks at us. So if you can throw a rock at a kid, that's pretty much anything. If one of those rocks had hit you like in the head, you would have been dead. He was throwing those like fastballs. And I was thinking, this guy, the thing I didn't like about my friend, that was my age, that had his brother, he knew. Like the kid was the older brother wasn't going to throw rocks at his little brother, I don't think. But even when his older brother was being a total dick, he wasn't like, "Hey, stop being a dick." He was just kind of like on his side. Like he would always switch sides. So it's kind of like a traitor guy. Like if you had a buddy, and all of a sudden you had one of your enemies come over, and then all of a sudden he's on your enemy's team, and then when the enemy leaves, he's back to your buddy again. I wanted to beat his ass.
He's a disloyal slime ball. I can't stand that guy either.
Disloyal slime ball.
Your favorite color to being your most spiced one.
My spicy color?
No, he goes from being your favorite color to becoming the most despised one of yours.
Oh, despised color. Gotcha. Exactly. There you go. He's a rainbow. So you don't like Jersey, Snaky guy?
Nope.
Did you meet the situation at all?
No, thankfully.
That sucks.
Is that all you have to say?
Wait, about New Jersey or the holidays?
About the holidays or New Jersey? Hey, Snaky guy.
Yeah?
Here's a tip. As a guy, you're the initiator. I'm the chick when you're talking. So that means you're responsible for the adventure. So you're not supposed to ask me whether you want to talk about the holidays or whether you want to talk about New Jersey. That's up to you to decide. That's your responsibility as the guy. So you got to choose one or the other. It's not like you're going to choose one and then I'm going to be like, "Oh, I can't believe you fucking chose Hanukkah when I wanted to hear about New Jersey." You have to be the one that's okay with your expectations to go, "Look, I like this story. I want to talk about Jersey." Or, "I like this story. I want to talk about the holidays." Or, "I don't particularly like either of them, but I'm okay with it being my decision, and I'm going to tell you about this." That's your expectation.
But I'm kind of freaking out a little right now.
Right, because you're the chick right now. You're practicing being the guy. You're practicing initiating. That means volunteering information. Snaky guy.
Yep.
So, yep. So, when I ask... Right. So here we go. So when I talk to you about your holidays, now you can volunteer your reactions to your holidays. You have a lot of reactions that went on in your head. The only problem is you're worried about the other people in the classroom hearing them. The only way you're going to get through that is just to practice giving those reactions. Now, when you get questions, those are helpful prompts, But eventually you don't want to lean on the questions. You don't want to depend on me having to ask you a question about your holiday or to ask you about New Jersey. You should be able to just volunteer that because it was something that happened to you and you want to share that reaction with me. All right. So, we're back to square one. Snaky guy, you and me.
Okay, is this a square? What? God damn it.
Yes, God damn it, you're in that square. Oh, snaky guy.
Okay, am I meant to be talking right now?
Snaky guy, were you the guy that I asked on the last podcast or in the last classroom how many presents you got?
No.
Who did I ask? I don't remember who I asked. Somebody had. They weren't.
Willie Gilligan.
Oh, that was Willie Gilligan. Yeah. This guy isn't quite Willie Gilligan.
No.
You're gonna have to do the Willie Gilligan exercise. Snaky guy.
Oh, okay.
You there?
Yes, I'm here.
You got your pants on?
Sure, son.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you to do something non-sexual. You ready?
Okay.
Okay, I want you to put your hand down your pants.
Okay.
Inside your boxers or briefs. I'm not sure which you're wearing. Which is it, boxers or briefs?
Boxers?
Okay. You gotta get low in the boxers to your family jewels.
Okay.
Do you feel your balls down there?
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna exercise them right now. You're gonna volunteer information. You're gonna say, look, I got balls.
Wait, is this a repeat after you?
Yeah, exactly. Repeat after me. My name is Snaky Guy,
My name is Snaky Guy,
and I have balls
and I have balls
to share my story.
to share my story.
Because I'm practicing initiating.
Because I'm practicing initiating.
Okay, now say it all by yourself.
My name is Snaky Guy, and I have balls, and I'm going to share my story and practice initiating.
All right.
Sorry, I botched that, though.
Okay, then do it again so you don't botch it.
Could you repeat it again?
No.
No?
You're just gonna have to struggle through it. Do it.
Okay. My name is Snaky Guy. I have balls. I'm going to initiate by sharing my story. Do I now initiate?
Motherfucker. Okay, start over again. Maybe your hands weren't on your balls. You gotta make sure your hands are on your balls. It activates a magical formula. It's like Hogwarts.
Just to get something straight. So I'm saying this little pledge thing, and I'm going straight into the story.
Snaky Guy. Anytime you're ready.
Okay. My name is Snaky Guy. I have balls. I'm going to practice initiating by telling my story. Alright. So the other reason I hate New Jersey is because I think I was 10 or something. Anyway, because it was when Pokemon cards were all a big deal. And I remember we were at my friend's house. We were doing a little Pokemon card trading, and I had Charizard.
What's that?
That's a good card.
Yeah, I had a holographic Charizard. This was the second one I got.
Oh, man.
I already traded one away to get a bunch of other cards, so this was my last one. I thought this was important. And my friend wanted it for something. It was like some Raichu with 100 attack. I'm like, awesome, 100's a big number. I want a big number. I want to kill shit with Raichu. But I kind of didn't want to trade it because I thought I love Charizard. Charizard was awesome. Favorite Pokemon on the show. I love that card.
I wish I knew what was going on, but it sounds interesting. Keep going.
Yeah, you're missing out.
Anyway, so the whole idea was we'll do a trade, but with take-backs. Because he really wanted it. But I wasn't sure about it, so we both agreed to this. Then I didn't know, because I thought everything was innocent. I'm like, there's no way this could ever backfire.
Did you say you did a trade back kind of trade?
Yeah,
Trade back?
no, what it was is if either of us were not satisfied, we could always go back on it.
No takebacks.
No, it was the opposite of that. There were take-backs.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay, stop right there. Snaky. Okay, Boggles, shut up. Snaky Guy. Excellent job. This is you initiating. You even had this asshole Boggler interrupting you. The worst student at Manhood Academy interrupted you, told you your story was boring. I thought it was interesting. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on. But I was just interested in the fact that you were interested, that you initiated, that you shared your reaction. You conveyed your experience to me. Now, for instance, Boggler doesn't know what's going on, and I don't know what's going on in your story. But to convey that to your audience, now you have to take your audience into consideration and bring them into the experience. So if nobody has any experience playing Pokemon, you're going to have to bring your audience into that experience and tell them what it's like playing Pokemon, why you play Pokemon, why you like it, etc. We're not going to do that now, but those are just to give you some pointers as to now you need to start considering your audience's needs, meeting their needs in the social interaction. So number one, your expectation, caring for your expectation. You want to tell your Pokemon story. You want to talk about New Jersey. That's number one. Regardless of whether people like it or assholes like Bogler interrupt you and say they are bored. In either case, you need to care for your expectation. You clear on that?
Yep.
All right, good job. Let's see who's up next here. Paperclip.
I'm sad that you didn't get a finish the story.
Yeah, I know. You'll have to hear about it in an upcoming expression post about Pokemon. Hit it. Hit it, Paper. If you Pokeballs. What's going down, Paper?
Alright, well, speaking of Pokemon, you just remind me when I had a Charizard.
Oh.
In Pokemon terms, if you have a Charizard, you're the boss. You pretty much have, it's like having a castle Ferrari and then $1 billion to spend. So with that card, I had it too, and I was a baller. I would walk around, and my friends would look at me and be like, damn, that guy's cool. But then one day, I had a bunch of friends in my house. I left the Charizard laying around in my room. I leave the room for 20 minutes. I come back, boom, it disappeared.
Boom.
And that was my short history of having a Charizard.
Charizard thief.
Yeah, dude, I got pwned. But anyways, for Christmas, I spent my Christmas with my mother.
Okay.
And for the first time in her life, she learned about thug life.
What do you mean?
I had her watch a movie with me about Tupac Shakur.
Uh-oh.
His life as a rapper, and just
You didn't grow up in the ghetto?
Huh?
You didn't grow up in the ghetto?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I mean, it's not ghetto where you get shot every day, but I saw cops once a week. People stole in my neighborhood. People did shady things. But it's nothing like what you see on TV where people are shooting at each other every moment of their life.
Okay. So lower class, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how to explain it, man, because, I mean, it is considered the projects where I used to live, just because people were put there by the government. Like, some of the apartments were government funded.
Hold on. I know you don't know how to explain it, but that's exactly why you're here. To practice learning how to explain these things. For instance, I'm sure it's easy for people who play Pokemon all their lives to relate to other people talking about, they mention Charizard, all of a sudden they're in another Pokemon world. Whereas other people that aren't involved in it, and they're on the outside. So it's much easier to look for people who have things in common with you, who play this game, who already know the dynamics of the game, who already know the terminology, to speak to them, than it is to speak to a person who has no knowledge whatsoever about Pokemon, and then to try and convey your experience of Pokemon to them. That takes practice.
Okay. Nah, I lost my train of thought.
All right, good. So we'll skip you. We'll go to DBP. What's up?
This was my first Christmas where I had presents. This was actually my first in like 10 years where I actually got anything.
Okay.
And I wasn't expecting.
Wait. Previous to that, do you guys have trees or anything, or you just didn't celebrate it?
No, it's just, well, we didn't celebrate it for one, but even if we did, I wouldn't have gotten any presents.
Okay.
My parents didn't believe in it. They thought it would be like spoiling me silly.
Okay, gotcha.
And we celebrated it. This is the first time I celebrated it with outside family, and I just did not expect it to have as big of a blast as I did. And my dad, he let me drink. He let me try like some really heavy scotch.
Wait, have you?
Really heavy drink that's like $100 a bottle.
Hang on a second. Have you been drunk before, or buzzed, or anything like that?
Well, I've been buzzed. Well, buzzed from like not from drinking, but like smoking up weed or something. But I've never been like drunk. And it's overrated, but it was just nice that I did it with my dad, so it was cool. Normally I'd eat it if it was just with anybody else, but it was my dad. I don't see him very often, so it's nice to do anything with him.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that, DBP. I think the last podcast, maybe the podcast before last, it might have actually been the last podcast when I was pretty sick, and I was talking about drinking a bottle of wine. Like I had half a bottle left over, and I was drinking it, and it was just to keep my throat moist, so I didn't, have a dry throat and start coughing. And halfway through the podcast, I started feeling like lightheaded and giddy, and I was wondering like, what happened? Why am I feeling so happy right now? And I just kept drinking the bottle, and then by the end of the podcast, I was really like, I was really giddy and happy and kind of swaying back and forth, and I felt super good and fuzzy inside. And I thought, this is the best podcast ever. I wonder what happened. And then it hit me like 3 days later. I didn't realize. I was like, or 2 days later, oh, I must have been buzzed. I didn't realize it. That's how little, I drink or anything like that. But it was just so funny to me because then I didn't even connect the dots. It didn't even dawn on me. Oh, I was buzzed. That's why I felt so weird.
I'm not a happy drunk. I'm an angry drunk. When I started drinking, I started to enjoy my Christmas less. Like after I had like 1-2 swigs of that $100 bottle scotch, I just started.
This is what I don't get. this is what I don't get. I've heard there's people that get buzzed and they get, kind of happy and warm feelings inside. And then there's people you hear about angry drunks. You've heard about that on TV or whatnot. How do you know what the difference is? And how do you know if you're feeling, all of a sudden do you just start going towards anger? Does you just spontaneously feel angry? Or is there like a sense where you go, I know I'm going to be an angry drunk?
It's not, okay, you know what, anger is the wrong word. It's not so much that you become angry, you become more impatient. Like, I
Become the Hulk.
You become the Hulk.
Well, I got a TV, I got like a new video game. These are things I wasn't expecting to get at all. And I was just grateful for it. But when I started drinking, I started to become less patient. I was like, I want to go fucking home. I want to go home and I want to try all this shit out. That's what was happening when I started drinking. I didn't so much get angry like I wanted to fight somebody, like you hear a lot of people say, like they're an angry drunk, they want to start, boxing people. But I definitely.
So you became more like irritated easier. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting. That's interesting. Okay.
Little thing.
Hold on. HS 101, you're breaking up. I'm going to hang up on you and call you back. Or let's see if you can jump back in.
There's some echo on your side.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me drop him real quick and see if we can get him back on. Hang up. Okay, while he's coming back, we'll go over to DKO.
Oh, yeah.
DKO, speak up. Get near the microphone. Get near the microphone, DKO.
I'm near the microphone.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Okay, fuck off then. You need to pay attention. Come on. How do you know what we're not talking about?
Okay, guys, what about now?
Hold on. It's good. DKO, why don't you know what we're talking about? Are you not paying attention?
I am paying attention, but when I went to the thread, all it said was, writing about yourself to attract others, read various expression posts.
Are you paying attention to anything the students are talking about right now?
Yeah, they were talking about their Christmas. Well, first, Michael Brown was talking, second guy was talking about
I didn't ask you to give me a summary. I'm just asking if you're aware of what the students are talking about.
they're talking about their expression.
Okay, so now it comes to you. Why do you have no idea what's going on?
What I meant was, I don't know what to say.
Okay, well that's different. You need to be clear with your expression. You're conveying two different thoughts. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what assignment we're on is different than I don't know what to say. You're just conveying you're nervous about saying something. That's different. You're conveying you're not paying attention. I'm going to be pissed that you're not paying attention. Be clear with your expression. Be direct with your expression.
Okay.
All right, so we're on you. Would you like us to get 2 more people in before we come back to you to get some more practice?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to High School 101. Hit it.
Okay, well, my question is after pretty ordinary.
Time out. Still breaking up. We're going to have to skip you. BZS, hit it.
My Christmas was really good. I went to go see my parents and spent the weekend down with them, and it was, I bonded a lot with them. For the past couple of years, I've been kind of distant with my parents, so it was really good to kind of just talk to them about just what's been going on, and it was really rewarding to do that.
Okay, that's vague. It sounded like a diplomatic speech. So, life is rewarding to you. You had a rich, wonderful time. What's wrong with that?
It's not specific enough.
Right. Why do I care about that? Aren't there other people's lives who are rich and rewarding to them?
Yeah.
Why do I care about that? There's no distinction. Start over.
Alright, so... Yeah, I just went down to see my parents, and we talked about just kind of life. I've been going to some kind of difficult things for the past couple months, so it was good to just kind of unwind and really kind of talk to my dad. I kind of been really distant with him for the past couple of years, so it was good to, just for once have an honest conversation with him.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say.
Unfortunately, that's not all you have to say. There's more. If that was all you had to say, I would never want to talk to you ever again. Are you trying to figure out what exciting things you did over the holidays?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, don't worry about that. I don't want to hear about your exciting times. I don't want to hear about you fighting ninjas over the holidays. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, I just pretty much stayed at the house the whole time. We didn't really go out, or we just had kind of dinner there, so it wasn't nothing too exciting.
Once again, you're not hearing what I'm saying. I don't care about you guys having an exciting time. I don't care about things happening to you. What do I care about hearing about, DPP?
You care about his reactions to what happened.
Yes.
How bland the events may be.
Yes. That's what I care about. Did you hear his answer, BZS?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and tell me.
So I mean, I felt like I really grew as a person over this holiday, just because I've been so distant from my parents for such a long time, and I mean, it felt like I was really bonding with them, for the first time in a really long time. So it's almost like it's hard to say, really.
Well, that's why we're practicing. You're going to have to draw on specific instances of things you said to give an example. You're going to have to draw on specific degrees of your feelings. For instance, I grew as a person. Very vague statement. It's better. It's much better than your last one, but it's still a very vague statement. In what sense do you mean? How did you grow? What made you feel like you grow? Or what made you feel like you grew? What specific things? What types of events? What things your parents said to you? How did you respond to those things? Those are all part of your reactions that you're not sharing. So we don't have a well-rounded view of you. We have a very generic view of a guy who went through a Hollywood story and grew up. A coming-of-age story.
Right. So, I mean, like I said, I've been going through some... Really, my dad was... he's been sick for about a year, so it's been kind of a... It's been kind of a rough time for the family in general, and my relationship with him has been pretty distant, for the past couple of years, like I said, and it was... I mean, even growing up, it was always a sort of a distance between me and my dad, so, I mean, for once, spending Christmas with him and just talking about, life and just the challenges he's been going through and, the changes he's had to make in his life to kind of go through his, move forward and as well as my challenges. It was really good to just discuss that and talk.
Okay. Time out. We have challenges, move forward, and really good. You're going to have to practice these things. This is your next, you have cannon fodder for your next expression post. You need to break up challenges. You need to break up really good. You need to break up move forward. All right. Next guy up, Tim Will.
Hey.
Hit it.
Well, I have to say that my Christmas was, for lack of a better word, boring as watching paint dry. I went over to my dad's place.
Uh-huh.
I went to my dad's place for Christmas, and he was kind of expecting me to be there, and I was there. He was talking about this old western that he was watching called Have Gun Will Travel, and he's asking me about it, and I'm like, I have no idea what he's talking about because it was like old. But I watched it with him anyway because I knew that it would connect with him in some way.
Okay. Father-son moment.
In a way, yes.
Okay.
And once that was done, since my dad's not working full time, I decided to, buy him the groceries as a nice Thanksgiving present.
By the way, you're watching this thing. How'd you feel about watching that thing with your dad?
I was bored to death.
How come you didn't tell me that? I would think that was probably one of the most important parts of your whole story.
I probably didn't think of it.
Well, maybe you should start thinking about it. This is what we're practicing here. You guys are telling me events. You guys are so focused on, I hope I have something cool to say, something interesting happen that will spark interest. This is not what sparks interest. This is not what sparks interest. I had today, about 5 minutes ago, I had this chicken tortilla soup. Just enough spice in it. It was like a little bit too much spice in it. It was a little too hot, but just enough spice in it. When you're eating it, you're thinking, oh, that's a spicy soup, man. How is that spicy soup going to get down the soup hole? Well, I got to put it in there slowly. It's got some chicken to kind of buffer that flavor, that hot, steamy Mexican flavor come down your throat, but it's got to have a little chicken in there to buffer it. It's a spicy soup, man. I don't know if I can get it down. Guess what? Got it down with a little bit of cornbread, little cornbread chaser. So delicious. I could eat that soup. Man. I could hang out with you. I could put my arm around you. Say, hey, Tim Will, I got the spicy chicken soup for you and me, man. You like that story, Tim?
It's a pretty good story, although I'm not a big fan of spicy foods.
Well, what was a good? Why was it such a good story? If you're not a fan of spicy foods.
Well, you actually described how spicy the soup was and the whole experience of eating it.
Yeah, the experience. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. It was the experience that mattered. My personalization of that experience to you. How I take the soup. How I watch the movie. How I do anything. We do these things millions of times a day. But it's my personal experience of that soup that you don't know about. My personal experience of this movie you don't know about. My personal relationship with my dad, my friends you don't know about. That's the only thing that matters. I have friends. I have soup. I have relationships. Why do I need to hear that you had just the fact that you have them? What does that matter to me? You're waiting till till you save the world, till you're a secret agent before you want to talk to me. That's Snaky Guy's problem. He's like, you know what? I'm not 007 yet. Can't talk to you. Sorry. That's not what makes conversation interesting. Blue, what makes conversation interesting?
By conveying your reactions and...
Okay, you guys keep talking. You guys keep talking to me about these ebook terms. I think it's bullshit. Let's hear it. Tell me, Blue. What happened?
Well, my Christmas started off awkward, but
awkward.
Yeah, awkward. But by the end of it, I was satisfied. I hadn't seen my family in 3 years. Well, I mean, I've seen them off and on, but this was the first Christmas that I've seen them in 3 years. So it was like we were seeing each other, but it was like we're trying to reconcile with each other because there's a lot of family conflict.
A lot of bad blood.
So I'm over there at their house, and you know how when you meet somebody for the first time, you know, you have like, you know, your fake smiles, and you know, you say your pleasantries, and like you give each other the hug, but the hug, like you pat each other's back. Like, it wasn't, you know, warm.
Yeah, don't do that.
And I have a sister who I used to be very close with. Like, when we were kids, we used to, you know, play like G.I. Joes together. Like, she was a tomboy. But as she grew older, she became a total attention whore. She was popular in high school, and, you know, she made the homecoming queen. And, well, anyways, most of my conflict is with her. I'm not going to get into the conflict, but there's a family, you know, sibling rivalry. Well, anyways, but seeing her kind of, it like irritates me a little bit. First off, she got these boob jobs.
Boob job.
Yeah. And her, you know, her husband's there, and you know, he's sitting next to her, and now she's wearing dresses that kind of like accentuate the boob job, so you can see like the top two hemispheres.
Yeah, you can.
And, yeah, and you know what? I was like, why is she wearing this? Like, we're just family. It's not like she's going to the club and gonna meet new people. And there's like little boys, like, you know, like 11, 12 years old. They're like my second cousins. And I know when they go home, they're gonna be like, did you see Tiki Nora? You know. So in my mind, I'm thinking, you know what? My sister, does she not realize what she's doing? So it just pisses me off. And she's like, you know, tries to be the center of attention.
So you didn't say, you dirty slut, put those tits away?
Well, I didn't say that because, you know, I'm trying to develop a relationship with my dad. So
right.
But it ended up pretty good. I have a cousin who I'm very close with, and his mom and my mom are twins. So, like, you know how when they say twins have like a, you know, like a connection or some sort of like clairvoyance? Well, he and I, we're not twins, but we have a connection.
Psychic friends.
Yeah, kind of. Like, you know, like we don't have to say anything, but if we find something that's funny, like, we'll just look at each other and we are on the same page. So we'll just look at each other, like, you know, snicker or laugh or whatever.
You like Dave Chappelle? I like Dave Chappelle.
I've always wanted to have a relationship like that. You just like connect with people.
Yeah, we've always been this way. We've never, I mean, we've had a few fights, but, like, the fights that my family have, because we're so close, the fights that we have, they're, like, very passionate fights. So we explode like a volcano, and then we kind of calm down.
When you said passionate, I imagine chairs flying across the room.
Well, yeah, like no, that's exactly how.
It's a Middle East fight.
Well, yeah. No, when we fight, like, you know, the little vein that's on like your neck or on your forehead, like, those pop out.
No.
It's bloody warfare.
And that was day one. Day two, I
But anyway, I mean, the food was great, and then by the end of it, like, I had a few, glasses of wine, and maybe that made me comfortable. But, I was able to open up a bit more.
Got a little liquid courage in you.
That was good. But, day 2, Sunday, I went over to my cousin's house again, and we saw this really stupid movie. It's called The Debt. It's about Israeli Mossad agents. And it was a horrible movie, but like my cousin and I, we were talking about
Israeli massage agents? What? I don't understand.
No, they're, you know how like the United States has CIA?
Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Anyway, it's a stupid movie. I'm not going to talk about the movie, but by the end of it, me and my cousin became inspired. So we were like talking about book ideas about how we're going to develop characters and how they're going to blow up certain religious monuments to create World War III. So it was fun.
Well, I hope you don't write your book like you speak, because I want to hear more specific degrees of reaction, more nuances, more inflection, more you in the story. Although I think you did, I would say comparable to the other students, I'd say you did a much better job. But compared to what you can do, I'd say it was average.
Okay. Well, I was a little bit nervous too.
Well, welcome to class.
Thank you.
Maybe you could talk to Snaky Guy after class about being nervous. He has that same problem too.
Well, I should have grabbed my balls throughout the whole...
You should have grabbed your balls during the speech. Might have helped you out. Boggles, you there? Boggles? Hit it.
Well, Christmas for me, always I'm pretty lonely. I can't really connect with my fellow, American people in general. I always feel like I'm, kind of different. I can't completely connect, everybody else is celebrating Christmas, but I'm just I sit at home and read something. I'm mostly on the forum for the last couple of years. So, in some ways, I guess I kind of envy others. I wish I was, among people where I could be celebrating Christmas with people. But this Christmas was very similar. I was at home. I think one good thing was Paperclip came by and we did the podcast from my home. So that was only company. Oh, but no, I think next day my uncle he invited us for dinner. So that was kind of nice. And I was like, I finally have something to do the day after Christmas. But yeah, other than that, I don't know. Also losing the pension, or I don't have anything. I feel the principals and all they were, but maybe this is the best I can do. Those kind of thoughts go through my mind sometimes.
Well, sweet. I gotta say, for the worst student at Manhood Academy, I would say you have one of the better oral expressions because you very quickly cut to the chase. At a lonely Christmas, very, very open with your reactions to things, to what you're thinking, your thoughts are. These are the type of things that draw people in when they're speaking to you. Your openness, your candidness. So that's the attractive part of you. Now, if you could work on managing your expectations, you'd be all set. So you do definitely have experience here. I don't know if the other students are picking up on it, but you could see Bogler is one of the more experienced students here. Yes, he gets in the most fights with other students. That's why we have the plum rule. That's why he is the worst student at Manhood Academy. But on the other hand, he's very good with his expression. He's very good at bringing you into his experience. So other students, take note. You don't need to prompt Bogler that much. You can tell when a student is becoming his own person. Is becoming a person you want to hang out with when you don't need to prompt him. For instance, Snaky Guy would be a fucking chore to hang out with because you got to ask him questions. He's always asking you for confirmation. Is this the hot dog you want? Do you want to eat this one or this one? You want to go here? You want to go to this place or you want to go to this place? He's always asking. It's like when chicks talk about guys who can't make decisions, they're talking about Snaky Guy. But when you're like Boggles and you could just volunteer your reactions, you can just volunteer your story, you can volunteer yourself, this becomes attractive. Then you can lead, then you can initiate, then you don't become a chore during the conversation. Then another person has something to respond to. For instance, when Snaky Guy started talking about his Pokemon thing, Pokemon characters, and the Jersey Shore, but New Jersey, I had a couple things that I wanted to say because it prompted me. The way he was responding to things, how he was reacting to things. I'd say also, Snaky Guy has a very good expression because he may not be sharing the most exciting information on the surface, but you could hear a lot of voice inflection and you can hear his emotion in there. You could hear his person in there. You can hear his thoughts, how he feels about things. So when he's not asking you bullshit questions, he's a very attractive fellow. A guy you could hang out with. Once he gets his balls, you'll be like, oh, this Snaky Guy is a cool guy. I want to hang out with him.
him when he's not on the podcast. He sounds much better.
Well, there you go. Practicing, initiating, practicing, leading the conversation, caring for your expectations, not always asking, what are your expectations? Don't you have expectations? Don't you have expectations? When you're talking, don't you have an expectation for how I should sound? For how others should sound? If you want to hang out with somebody, don't you have an expectation for them? Of course you do. So now think, are you meeting your own expectations? Think about your own expectations. What do you want to share? If you're talking to somebody and they're just, talking about, building a computer and it's just totally boring and dry to you, why is it boring and dry to you? What do you think, what are you concerned with when you're talking to somebody? What do you want to get from them? What needs do you want to get met? Care about your expectations. Start caring about your expectations. That'll free you up to start speaking about these things you're caring about. Your needs are expressed through your mouth, through your words. If your expression isn't inviting, if your expression doesn't convey the person behind the needs, nobody's going to want to meet your needs. Nobody's going to want to meet your expectations. Nobody's going to care for your expectations. Nobody's going to care for your demands. Why do you think Boggles has so much trouble getting his expectations met? DBP?
Because he punishes without incentive.
Punishes without incentive. Makes demands, says, hey, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. He's the don't do this guy.
I shouldn't say that he doesn't give any incentive.
He does.
It's just he punishes. The punishment he gives isn't proportional to the amount of incentive.
There you go. His expectations are ridiculous. He has no incentive. He's giving nobody incentive to meet those ridiculous expectations. So he makes demands. He makes demands. He makes demands. Nobody meets them. He gets frustrated. All of a sudden you have a fight. This has been going on forever. So you should look at Boggles and take the good things, like his expression, and also watch out. Look at him as a warning sign. I don't want to end up like that. I don't want to be a guy who is continually frustrating myself by neglecting to give the other party incentive to meet my expectations. Why do they want to hang out with me?
Bogler is also, he's very frustrating in the sense that he doesn't learn from his mistakes. Like, 2 weeks ago, we were talking about abortion. We had the whole abortion issue. And then earlier today, I'm talking on the phone with him, and he brings it up again, and he's trying to reason with me, and he's like, well, dude, I just don't understand why it's so bad to abort a girl baby. I want a boy so bad. And I say, dude, just do it like the rest of us. Just have sex and hope it turns to be a boy. And it just took a while for it to sink in, and it's just very annoying when he doesn't learn the first time.
Well, I think the feeling is mutual. I would like for all the students to read the ebook one time and learn it. But I know that's not realistic. It's going to take practice. We're going to fuck up. We're going to be asking stupid questions. It's to be expected. It's a learning process. A lot of these things, I write down on the form and post, and I say, read the post. And you'll come back and ask me a stupid question that's already answered in the post. Like, one of the most frustrating things for me. But it's to be expected. You have to keep learning. These are babies. You have to lead them. You have to practice teaching them what to do. So this is good practice for you students. When you see new guys just sign up, and they know they should read this new student post in the orientation, go ahead and take the time to talk to them and tell them anyway. Practice leading them.
Yeah, talk over 2 hours.
What's that?
Talk over 2 hours. We're only, I think, an hour and 10 minutes in.
Talk? I can't hear you. Mike's cutting out.
Let's not go over 2 hours.
Gotcha.
Okay, we're only an hour and 10 minutes in.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's go on to our topics. Writing about yourself to attract others. So we're in the podcasting topics. First one, writing about yourself to attract others.
Oh, wait, let's talk about my Christmas story.
Can't do it. Your microphone's terrible. Writing about yourself to attract others. Read various expression posts. Oh, actually, this is one of our activities. This is, if you had refreshed the first page on the podcasting topics, the very first page.
Is this under orientation?
No, it's under podcasting topics. In the film and lecture section. This is where you should be every time. Oh, pays to come to class.
I'm a better license. Okay, I'm there.
Oh. Podcasting topics up at the top.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay.
I'm on page 3.
Be on page 1.
Oh, man. Okay.
Okay. So, I want to save this one because this is going to be a big one. I'm going to save this for tomorrow. we're going to go over reading various expression posts, because expression is one of the huge issues we need to cover. Torero and DKO responding to other students' posts, aka the students who are paying attention in class. Oh, why did I put that down? Tim Willie, why did I put that down there?
You want us to create a relationship with each other.
Don't give me vague terms. Spell it out for me.
You want us to respond to other people's posts such that we start to have conversations with each other and thus create relationships.
There you go. So these guys heard a podcast and said, hey, it's a good idea to start creating relationships with other students in the academy. What's the best way to do that? Respond to other people's posts. They post something, you like it, say something. Tell them about it. You don't like it, say something, tell them about it. You have a question about something, say something. Contact. Initiate. Okay, High School 101. You're going to have to mute your mic because it keeps cutting in and out.
Oh, okay. I'm trying like every mic, so I'm just gonna like get off this podcast for now.
All right, bud.
See you later.
Hostile pasta. Okay, so one of the best ways to do that, to form a relationship with other students, is to start responding to their posts. So Torero and DKO are really getting on their game here, and they're taking the time to respond to other students' posts, getting them to respond, and they're having conversations. You can see conversations happening in the thread. They're forming relationships. This is exactly what you should be practicing doing. If you're reading other people's posts on the forum, you're doing it right. If you're responding to other people's posts on the forum, you're doing it even better. Start initiating. Start responding. Motherfucker, why is this guy typing in the chat room? Okay.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Let's see. Zyga wrote, swing. I went to a swing class last week, and I sucked badly. I need to practice the basics a little before I can take my girlfriend to a night out. She's got some experience, and I won't have fun unless I'm somewhat decent.
Oh, snaps. I didn't know you had a girlfriend. Congratulations to you, Tiger.
Congratulations. Happy belated girlfriend birthday.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the problem with this post?
It's like a lot of us, they want to be completely competent before we do anything. Like, that's why I'm not it.
Can't hear you, Boggles. Boggles, you said it, but you gotta get into the mic.
Oh, sorry. It's like we gotta know everything we do like perfectly before we try it because we're so scared of failing. Like, oh, I need to know that thing inside out. That way I don't look like a fool in front of my girlfriend.
Exactly. That is exactly the problem. Zyger's a classic nerd. He likes to micromanage his environment. He wants to control every aspect of it so he doesn't look stupid. He doesn't, appear incompetent. He's worried about basically what other people think of him. Same problem everybody else has. So
a lot of us think about like that. For example, expression. Like, I want to know expression 100% before speaking to girls, but that's not possible.
There you go. Same thing. A lot of people don't want to talk to girls until they have 20 cool things to say and they know exactly how to say them. They know exactly what's going to happen. And they're not going to do it until they know all that information. Same exact problem. If you know how to manage your expectations, you can go to a dance class and you can know nothing about that dance class. This is exactly what I've done before. Is gone to a dance class. I went to ballroom dancing or some other, I think it was ballroom dancing. I didn't know a thing about ballroom dancing. But I knew how to manage my expectations. So I went into class, didn't know a fucking thing, was doing goofy steps. It didn't matter. By the end of the class, I had 5 new friends. All because I managed my expectations, even though I didn't know one thing about dancing. And I did a lot of bad dancing. That's irrelevant in attracting other people. What's relevant is managing your expectations. So, you thinking you have to do it perfectly, or you thinking you have to know this much information before you can start? No. Number one, you need to practice. Number one, you won't even get better without the practice, which entails screwing up. And number two, you need to practice managing your expectations, because when you can effectively manage your expectations, this gives you the breathing room to fail. Because now you know how to manage a bad reaction from somebody. Oh, you're not that good at dancing. Oh, you're a failure. Oh, you're not as good as me. You're able to manage that reaction. You're able to manage their competing expectation. So it doesn't matter if you're good at dancing, you're good at basketball, you're good at sports, etc. If you can manage your expectations with another person, frees you up to do a lot of things. Next one. Let's see. Who we got here? Leon. Can you read that for me?
Wait, Professor.
Yo.
Where in the podcast topics are that?
Right on page 1. I'm in the white box right now. It says starts with teaching and goes to apologizing. Page 1.
Page 1 from where?
Podcasting topics. You guys.
Yes, I am there.
Okay, go ahead. Read it from teaching.
From teaching?
Yep.
Teaching. This is a type of justification. It provides the reason behind your expectation. For example, if you expect someone to fix themselves, you would explain the reasoning behind your expectation. You want them to be able to meet their needs while saving time and money. Then you would need to teach them how to fit your teachings, their behavior by showing them how to fulfill your expectations.
Okay, hold on. I need somebody to read it that has a clear mic. Blue, hit it.
Okay, teaching. This is a type of justification. It provides the reason behind your expectations. For example, you expect someone to feed themselves. You would explain the reasoning behind your expectation. You want them to be able to meet their needs while saving time and money. Then you would need to teach them how to fish. Your teaching directs their behavior by showing them how to fulfill your expectation. Explaining your expectation creates an orderly relationship with that person. And by teaching them how to fish, brings order to their life.
Wow, our microphones are really bad. Let's see. BZS, go for it. Apologizing.
Apologizing. An apology is the antithesis of a justification because it does not excuse your behavior. Rather, it condemns it. By apologizing, you are essentially admitting that you are wrong, you are wrong. Many times in the course of learning how to exercise your authority properly, you will discover that your expectations are dysfunctional, leading to a disorderly relationships. Or you may inappropriately punish and reward those you are trying to form relationships with. This damage needs to be remedied. Apologies are necessary to repair relationships that you are responsible for damaging. Sometimes an apology will even require an act of restitution. For example, if you steal a book from someone, you will need to return it or find a way to restore its lost value with a replacement.
Reactions. Snaky guy. Snaky guy, you there?
Yeah.
Reaction.
God damn it.
Damn it. Damn it.
No, I'm a little confused.
About what?
Am I meant to be are you asking for my reaction?
Shut up. We'll come back to you, guy. In the meantime, I want you to prepare, because I'm going to come back to you. I want you to put your hand down your pants, grab your balls, and get ready, because I'm coming back to you.
No. Can you hold on for a second?
No. I'm not going to hold on. I just told you what to do. Put your hand down your pants, grab your balls. I'm going to come back to you. Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to call on Paperclip Reactions.
After reading Apologizing, I remember when I was younger, and I was always taught, whenever you do something wrong, apologize. But because I would apologize for any little thing, it lost its value. Now that I'm an adult, and I read your definition of apologizing, how it works, boom, it just makes sense. Now I look forward to apologizing to those who have done wrong to, who I've given dysfunctional expectations to.
Tim.
Onto my face.
Tim, reactions.
I always thought that apologizing is admitting that you're wrong.
Hold on a second.
Right?
By the way, you can react to either top or bottom paragraph. Go ahead, sorry.
Like, I always assume that if you're apologizing, you're admitting you're wrong, so you got that part right. What was that?
I don't know, I'm asking you. What? What do you...
It just went from static to, like, dead quiet.
We're still here, keep going.
Alright. My reaction to justification, I never thought of teaching as justifying anything. You know, I keep hearing that, you know, justifying yourself is a dysfunctional way to get your expectations met.
Is it functional or dysfunctional?
Dysfunctional.
Justifying yourself is a dysfunctional way to get your expectations met. So you're not aware yet that there is an appropriate time to justify yourself?
Not quite yet, no.
Okay. So, anything else to add to that?
Nothing else.
Okay. Boggles, reactions. Get close to the microphone, Boggles.
Yeah. Teaching, yeah, I see how it would be a reward, but I don't know, when want to learn from me to even see it as a reward. So that's what I think of that. And in terms of apologizing, I think I agree in theory with all this, but to actually do it, it's pretty hard. Like the other day, I was thinking maybe I should call and apologize to Rob, but then when I think of his dad, I'm like, screw it. If I analyze,
You're all fuck Rob.
Yeah, I'm like they're our family, but then I'm like, nah, I should do it. So
Oh, I could repair the relationship with Rob, or I could just say fuck Rob.
yeah, I'm like, but the moment if I think they're retarded, then it stops me from apologizing.
Sweet. Okay. Snaky guy, you ready?
Sure.
You sure?
No, but I'll just do it.
All right. Snaky guy, reactions.
Okay, so with the apologizing section, like, I can kind of feel with that because I get into a ton of fights with my dad about the dumbest shit. Or it could be important. It doesn't really matter. I'll just fight with my dad because I feel like it and I'm an asshole when it comes to that. And a lot of times, we'll both get, like, really, really prideful about something. And for the most part, he's right and I'm just being a dick. And every time I lose, I'll go to my room, I'll be all broody, I'll, like, punch something stupid and almost hurt my hand. I'll be like, God damn it, my dad's such an asshole. I fucking hate him. And then slowly, I'll think about it, and it stops from my dad being an asshole to me being a fucking retard. And as that slowly progresses through my head, and I feel that more and more, I finally go like, yeah, I need to go downstairs and apologize. That's how, like, most of the fights go, but sometimes I'll just get entrenched in me being an asshole and never apologize, and then we're pissed off at each other for a couple weeks.
That it?
Yep.
DBP, reaction.
The teaching part, I always saw teaching as incentive by coming to the academy and watching you teach, and I knew that was incentive off the bat. But apologizing, that really struck me that it can be used as incentive, because I always saw apologizing as kind of like you're putting the other person's expectations above your own. It's bad. You should never do it. But I actually tried doing it with one of the main chicks I'm talking to. And I was surprised that it actually repaired the relationship. I thought that basically I was giving her the balls in the relationship. That's why I was so afraid to do it. But just the opposite. I think I solidified my authority by apologizing to her for some dysfunctional expectation I had.
Cool. Bees, yes.
Yeah, for me, for apologizing, what I've noticed is I've had some challenges, for me it's kind of hard to tell when I should apologize, because I feel like sometimes when I enforce my expectations, I take it a little far with the punishing, so it's kind of hard for me to draw the line and say, okay, now I fucked up and I should apologize, or if I should just keep it going and if they're not meeting my expectations. So that's kind of my thing with that.
Gotcha. Okay, let's move on. Whoa, what's up?
For how much longer will we be podcasting?
Probably another half hour. If you have to leave at any time, just drop off. That's fine.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, Battle of Pride. Fail student paperclip versus fail student DBP. And Boggles enjoys the plum roll. Fail student paperclip versus fail student DBP. Battle of Pride.
I remember.
Well, why did I write this? Can you guys refresh me? Fail student paperclip and fail student DBP. Go ahead.
I remember what happened. Boggles.
Hold on a second. Who's dialing?
Luke.
Fuck.
Boggles.
All right.
He's resurrecting from the dead.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Boggles is gone too.
Boggles is gone.
Basically, not basically. Rob was yelling at Boggles in the chat room in like caps locks. I'm gonna kick your ass, Boggles, and all that bullshit, all the drama.
Right.
And then Paperclip's trying to intervene, and I'm trying to intervene as well, just trying to like be reasonable. And then Paperclip tells me, "PvP, put out, dude, let me handle." And I'm just like, "Well, what the fuck?"
Just like that, with a voice too.
Yeah, dude, that's what it felt like to me. But
Wait, were these words on the screen, or did he actually sound like that?
No, the words were on the screen. I don't know how he sounded, but that's how I took it.
Okay, gotcha.
And I immediately got defensive. I was like, what the fuck? Well, who is this guy telling me to butt out?
Oh, yeah, now I remember this incident. Okay, keep going.
And then Boggles sides with him. I'm like, why the fuck is Boggles all of a sudden siding with him, too? And then I just got really annoyed. I got very fucking paper stuff, and then I was going to let it slide. I was going to just ignore it, but then you brought it up. You said, ooh, I wonder what's going to happen with Paperclip and DP's EM. And, yeah, it just went from there.
Paperclip?
I remember Plum writing, eating popcorn.
Oh, yeah.
Now, DDP did a good job of explaining what happened.
Yes.
That's what happened. To break it down, my expectation was dysfunctional because I have, at that time, I had given him no incentive whatsoever for him to want to listen to me. So by me telling him to butt out, that was stupid. It was dysfunctional. It wasn't going to go in.
I agree. No incentive. You're basically treating him like a lower class student, and it just wasn't conducive to your guys' relationship on the forum. Yeah, regardless of the situation, I realize it was probably more of a personal situation for you that didn't involve him. But again, you guys are having this out in the chat room, which is ridiculous anyway. So to say that other people can't be included in this thing when this drama is happening in the chat room is pretty silly. So I think it was silly all the way around. I would say.
And he did apologize at the end. Like after you brought it up and you said Slashy ate popcorn, we talked a little bit and he did apologize. And then he said, "Dude, Paperclip's got bigger balls than anybody at the academy."
Well, there you go. Apology is a huge thing, especially for a guy with a lot of pride.
Okay, so I have a question on this now.
Oh, it's Jar. Welcome to the class, Jar.
Thank you. So, with that being said, is it fair for every student to be entitled to make everybody's problem, or maybe there's a slight dispute going on, or a small dispute? Is it fair to make it your problem as well? Jump in.
Well, I would say no. If they're going to be, hold on a second. Who's eating? Somebody put your fork down when you're talking. Who is that?
That was me. I was playing the Chinese puzzle.
All right, put your Chinese puzzle away.
I put it down,
It's distracting me. Okay, you guys, if you're going to have disputes, have them between yourselves, and you could solve them between yourselves, and you can write about them in the EM report later. But if you're going to do something as ridiculous as have a dispute in the chat room, it's going to be a free-for-all. It's a public forum in the chat room. Chat room is for giving other students incentive to want to talk to you, not for having disputes. But you guys are Manhood Academy students, so you guys will sometimes listen to the rules and sometimes not listen to the rules. So depending on how public you make the issue, that's how public the issue will become. So for instance, if you're talking to somebody in the chat room and you're having a big fight in there, you're having it in the middle of the chat room. It's public by nature. If you're going to have a dispute with somebody, I would have it with them personally, privately, talk to them, etc. And then if it needs to be more public, then you can, you need to seek advice from an instructor or get advice from students. Then you can involve more people. But depending on how the initial parties involved handle it, that's how public or private it should be. So nothing's just open. Like if you guys don't want anything open, you guys are talking to each other, that's between you. But as soon as you make it public on the forum, everything on the forum is student involved. That means if you're a student, you're involved in it. All right.
So, sounds good. Answer me.
Girls need to realize, written by a guy. Okay, let's see. Jar, go for it.
Jar?
Yes, Jar.
Alright. Dog. Yeah, fuck.
Fuck. Jar. Fuck.
We guys don't care if you talk to other guys. We don't care if you're friends with other guys. But when you're sitting next to us and some random guy walks into the room and you jump up and tackle him without even introducing us, yeah, it pisses us off. It doesn't help if you sit there and talk to him for 10 minutes without even acknowledging the fact that we're still here. We don't care if the guy calls or texts you, but at 2 in the morning, we do get a little concerned. Nothing is that important at 2 a.m. that I can't wait till the morning.
Hold on. Snaky guy. How do you feel about that? Oh, by the way, Jar, do you have your speakers on or you got your headphones on?
Oh, I got, no, I don't have...
Yeah, go put your headphones on. Snaky guy.
Hold on. Dumb questions, but are you asking me how I feel about what he read or how he read?
Okay, let's see. Tim, how do you feel about that first paragraph?
I could totally identify with that. It makes me feel like I'm a little boy.
Explain. I'm confused.
Like, it just makes... And what this guy is writing about, it sounds like something that I would have written about in the past.
Okay. Any reaction besides that?
A grenade just blew up my stomach.
Okay. Leo, any reaction?
About this. Yes, I am a little, ¿cómo se dice? De acuerdo. I don't know how to say it on English.
Okay.
You agree, yeah.
I agree with this paragraph he just read because I think the people should have a little consideration of you.
I think there's another issue at foot, but that's my big concern right there. Paperclip.
Fuck that shit. If I'm a girlfriend, he's not jumping on any guy whatsoever.
There you go.
On my side, I'm having a good time together. He does not eat any other guy except for me when she's my girl.
That's my number one concern. Why is this? Hold on. Who's got speakers on? Is that still you, Jar?
No, I put headphones in now.
Echo, echo, echo. Bass, bass, bass. 1, 1, 1. 222. Okay, good. I'm concerned with this guy. He says, we guys don't care if you talk to other guys. We guys don't care? No, you, emasculated male, you don't care. Don't include me with you. We guys don't care if you talk to other guys. Yes, we do. Real guys actually care if your girlfriend is talking to another guy. These emasculated manginas don't care. Don't speak for real men. Speak for yourself. We don't care if you're friends with other guys.
I think actually that they do care. They're just too scared to say it because they don't want to come
Yes.
off like
This is the
extreme.
This is the polite mangina speech.
Yeah.
But when you're sitting next to us and some random guy walks into the room and you jump up and tackle him without even introducing us.
I can sum this up, what he's really thinking in one paragraph. Stop making friends with guys when you're with us, bitch. That would just be the more...
I could sum this up in a better paragraph. I'm about to leave you. I'm just looking for the right guy to do it with.
From the girls, yeah.
Yeah, I'm speaking... Without even introducing us. It pisses us off. It doesn't help if you sit there. It doesn't help if you sit there and talk to him for 10 minutes without even acknowledging the fact that we're still there. We don't care if a guy calls or texts you, but at 2 a.m. in the morning, we do get a little concerned. A little concerned.
A little concerned, yeah.
Yes.
That's an understatement.
Poor guy. And then he's making excuses. Nothing's that important, as if it's a 2 a.m. issue. It's not a 2 a.m. issue. It's that you have guys talking to your girl when they shouldn't be doing that in the first place. Okay, next paragraph. Hit it, BZS.
Also, when we tell you you're pretty, beautiful, gorgeous, keep studying, we freaking need it. Don't tell us we're wrong. We'll stop trying to convince you. The sexiest thing about a girl is confidence. Yeah, you can quote me. Don't be mad when we hold the door open. Take advantage of the mood I'm in. Let us pay for you. Don't feel bad. We enjoy doing it. It's expected. Smile and say thank you. Kiss us when no one's watching. If you kiss us when you know somebody's looking, we'll be more impressed. You don't have to get dressed up for us. If we're going out with you in the first place, you don't have to feel the need to wear the shortest skirt you have or put on every kind of makeup you own. We like you for who you are and not what you are. Honestly, I think a girl looks more beautiful when she's just in her PJs or my t-shirt and boxers, not all dolled up.
What do you have to say, BZS?
I couldn't really read this without, thinking it's bullshit. It just makes me sick reading it.
How so? Why?
It's just, the whole attitude, the whole, let us pay for you, don't feel bad, or was that one that I saw? The don't get mad. What was it at?
Don't be mad when we hold the door open?
Yeah, it's like you're holding the door open, but then she's mad at you for it. Like, what the fuck? It is.
I don't know. Who said that? Tim Will, you sound like you have a strong reaction. What do you have to say?
It is expected.
Yeah, it is expected. Surprising.
Listen, I'm just now trying to not think this way.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's...
Hold on. Tim's about to lay down the law.
I'm just right now starting to try not to think this way. I thought this way for most of my fucking 20s. Ain't got me nowhere.
Okay. Let me tell you some myths. Let me dispel some myths here, okay? These things like holding open the door, paying for the meal, they are not really the problem. They're kind of indicative of the problem, but they're not the real problem. I can hold the door open for a girl and I can pay for a girl's meal. That's not going to determine whether she likes me or not. What's going to determine whether she likes me or not, DBP?
Whether or not you manage your expectations and you demand reciprocation.
Yes. Whether or not I manage my expectations, which means I'm getting my needs met. Yeah. If I'm paying for this meal, I better be getting my dick sucked. If I'm holding this door open, the dishes better be washed. There needs to be reciprocation because I have expectations. Now, the guy writing this paragraph is just the opposite. He's going to hold the door open. He's going to pay for the meal. He's going to get her flowers. He's going to tell her she's stunning and gorgeous. But he's a very passive guy. Look at this. You can tell from the very first sentence. Also, when we tell you you're pretty, we freaking mean it. Come on, man. He's complaining and whining because why? He can't get his expectation met. Don't tell us we're wrong. We'll stop trying to convince you. What is he doing there, Tim?
He's complaining.
Yes. He's trying to justify himself. He's trying to say, look, here's my reason for this, why I want you to do this. Here are my reasons. What should he be doing? Tim?
He should be punishing her for...
Yeah.
He should be saying...
Let's role play. Let's role play. I'm going to be the girl, and you're going to be the guy, okay? I'm coming in the room. Hi, Tim, I'm ready. I'm ready for the play. Or where are we going? Are we going to a concert? Are we going to play? We're going to McDonald's? Where are we going?
We're going to see the Book of Mormon.
We're going to see the Book of Mormon. Hi, Tim. I'm ready to go see the musical.
Wow, you look beautiful today.
Don't be so childish.
Listen, I said you were beautiful. You should say thank you.
That's childish, though. I think it's childish.
No, what's childish is you not taking my compliment at face value.
Okay, what's the mistake he just made, DVP?
He justified himself.
How can you tell?
Because he's explaining himself. Yeah, he's trying to reason with her.
Yeah, he's trying to reason with her. He's saying, here's why you shouldn't do this. Here's the reasons. Here's the good reasons why you shouldn't do this. Here's the reasons why you should do this. What should he be doing, BZS?
He should meet that with a punishment if...
Okay, so I just said, Tim, I gotta go. I gotta cheat on you with my other boyfriend who's a man. Okay, so... No, sorry, you lost your chance. BZS is gonna tell you how to do it right. Okay. BZS, where are you taking me now?
Let's go, we're going to dinner.
Okay. BZS, I'm all dressed up and ready for dinner.
Alright, let's get going.
Okay.
Alright, you look... Oh, yeah, sorry. By the way, you look beautiful tonight.
That's so corny.
Don't be a bitch.
Please, no, I'm serious. That's super corny, BZS.
Don't be a bitch. I told you you're beautiful.
What? Wait, why are you being so mean to me? Why are you calling me names?
Just don't be a bitch.
Wait, I don't understand. I don't understand. Why are you being so mean to me? I'm just trying to ask you a question.
Just stop being a bitch.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be that way. I was just tired. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. You still look beautiful. Let's get out of here.
Okay, what did
Oh, yeah.
BZS do right? Why did BZS get her panties wet and Tim didn't get her panties wet? What did he do right, snaky guy?
He didn't justify himself, and he just repeated himself until she got the point.
No, he didn't repeat. Well, yeah, that's what he did in method or in technique, but I'm talking about the principle of what did he do. Snaky guy.
I totally missed the last.
Okay, what was the principle behind what he did according to the ebook? I'm not just. Of course, we know he repeated himself, but what did he really do?
He punished her.
Yes, he punished her, even when she became, especially when she was aggressive and said, "Hey, that's corny," and then when she became passive aggressive, why are you being mean to me? He still didn't relent. He kept with the punishment, and then once she submitted to his authority, met his expectation. Sorry, I didn't mean to be a bitch. Then what did he do, snaky guy?
He rewarded her.
Yes. And now he has a girlfriend where he doesn't have to bargain with, he doesn't have to threaten, he doesn't have to whine, he doesn't have to complain, he doesn't have to write posts that say, hey, we freaking mean it. Don't tell us we're wrong. We'll stop trying to convince you. He doesn't have to make these whining, complaining posts anymore because he's learned to manage his expectations. See, BZS is a bitch tamer. By the way, I just gave you probably something I've done, but a billion different times in just another form. That's basically the form I usually hear it in from girls. Is they'll say something or I'll say something, and I'll just, sometimes I'll be lazy, sometimes I'll be creative. It doesn't really matter, but eventually it comes down to, just stop acting like a bitch. Who is calling? Hold on, fuck. Why when I'm making a point? Jar.
Yeah, on your background.
I've got nothing going on in my background.
Well, I see your Skype icon lighting up.
Is it lighting up anymore?
No, not anymore. The noise disappeared.
I don't trust Skype though, because Skype, the last call it happened, like people's voices were lighting up when other people were talking. So I don't know.
Skype is just.
Skype is Skype. You're gonna have to bear with it. Okay, so the point is, I've had the same conversation with girls in various forms, and I basically just. It's the same thing. It's just you need practice and familiarity. You are still in the mode where you're the nice guy, you're the emasculated guy, you're the mangina. You're still in convince them mode. If I just get the right argument, if I just plead with them enough, this girl is just going to see reason and change her behavior. Not going to happen.
I really like this example.
I hate it.
Well, you're going to learn from it. You'll see this happen over and over and over again. This is the test. This is all that's on the test, really. That's it.
Yeah.
You'll just see it a billion different times, a billion different ways. You'll see it happen over and over, and then you'll recognize it. It's not because I'm just a mind reader. It's just that I've seen it enough times where it's very easy to recognize. And eventually, when you see it enough times when dealing with enough girls, you'll see the same thing over and over. Stage 1, aggressive. You're an asshole. You're this or that. Stage 2, Passive-aggressive. Why are you being mean? Stage 3, submission. Same thing, over and over. You'll see it over and over. Third paragraph.
Get over and over, Clem.
What's that?
I don't want to see it over and over.
Well, then you better start learning to manage your expectations.
That's it.
I agree, Blake, but that's what we gotta do.
The closer you get to managing your... The more you manage your expectations, the more you'll see this happen less and less in your relationship with a girl, with the same girl, I should say. For instance, now I have a girl who's self-correcting. She'll say something, oh, I'm not allowed to say that. Or, oh, I know I'm not supposed to say it that way. Like, she knows. That's because you are quickly there, consistently rewarding and punishing as needed. Don't forget to reward, by the way. Do not forget to reward. Why do you need a reward, BZS?
Because otherwise the altercation keeps going and you never really get a resolution out of it.
No.
Like you never get to, that.
No. DBP, why do you need a reward?
Because she doesn't have a reason to keep listening to you. If she's not getting anything out of it,
Yes.
Your guidance, why should she listen?
Exactly. What's the point of listening to you if you're not going to meet her needs? If you're not going to make her happy?
It'd be like if your boss, he expects you to show up to work, but he doesn't give you a paycheck.
Yes.
It's nonsensical.
There's no point in going back to work if you don't get a paycheck. There has to be some positive incentive, some reason. Yes.
Is there in the relationship where it becomes part of her, pleasing you and doing what you want, where you don't have to always reward her for every single good thing she does?
Well, I think you're thinking of reward in the wrong way. You're thinking of I have to get her a $100 gift certificate to Denny's every time she makes me dinner. What are various rewards?
Praise, affection, touching, hugging, anything.
Is a reward kissing her?
Yes.
Is a reward squeezing her hand?
Yeah. Anything that makes her happy and feels good. That's
Is a reward holding her hand?
Yes.
Well, the reward is attention, really.
Is a reward sitting in the same room with her?
Yes.
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 All these things are rewarding. If you like somebody, you like a girl, she just sits next to you. Isn't that rewarding to you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
How can she punish you?
Wait, what you said?
How can she punish you? She can leave the room.
Yeah.
So you're thinking of punishment in one-dimensional terms. You're thinking of punishment as, okay, she did something great, so I have to go get a Scooby snack out of the fridge and give it to her.
Get her dog treat.
That sounds good to me.
Rewarding is very wide in scope. Entails many different things.
Well, I'm thinking what he's asking is, you have to reward every single time, every time, she's a habit of, doing,
I'm not sure you understood what I said, Boggles. Think about what I said. Rewarding is very big in scope.
Yeah, there's various, degrees, reward, different ways.
Well, okay, here's...
Oh, we got...
your dick sucked or something, and then you just left the room and you never spoke to the chick. You only showed up to the house, got your dick sucked, and left the room and never spoke to her. That's what really... That would be an example of no rewarding whatsoever. By simply being there,
Could you please repeat that again? I'm hearing noises from...
Sorry, we just had Zyga.
Hello.
Zyga, you're right you got 5 minutes left in class. Congratulations.
I thought this thing lasted hours of time.
What's that?
I thought it lasted 2 hours at least.
It is. We're on the last 2 hour mark.
Really? I thought it...
We start at 6. Wait, we're on PST. We start at 6 p.m.
Right, so...
It's 9 for you.
Never mind, I'll stop holding up the class. You can...
Well, we
Zyger, I want to tell you that you sound like a sophisticated who drinks tea. Hot tea, that is.
I didn't understand it. It cut. Can you repeat that?
You sound like a sophisticated man who drinks hot tea. I like that.
Oh yeah, I drink hot tea all the time.
Yeah.
he says your accent is very regal.
Oh yeah, it's very aristocratic.
Yeah, it's very aristocratic.
Yeah.
We got class tomorrow.
I went from spock to aristocratic. It's a pretty good upgrade.
Hey, Mr. Aristocrat. Just in case you're wondering, we have class tomorrow.
Oh, nice. So I won't miss that one. I was held up.
Okay, where were we? DVP. I'm sorry. Yeah, DVP. Were you saying something?
Yeah, I was saying about... Because Boggles is talking about how you constantly have to reward her. Well, here's an example of no rewarding at all. Imagine if you went to this chick's house, got your dick sucked, then you left, and you never spoke to her again. All you did was keep coming back and getting your dick sucked, and then no consequence after that. But by simply being there with her after you've done the deed, that's a reward. So this constant reward thing, it's not like you have to constantly go out of your way for it. It's like Plum said, rewarding is it's a very broad term.
Yeah, I was thinking like each time she pulls your clothes or she does react, oh, thank you, you're so pretty, you're so nice, you're so wonderful.
The problem is Boggles doesn't realize that he's rewarding. Boggles doesn't realize that he doesn't think of himself as a reward. Like to hang out with somebody, he doesn't feel that he's a reward. That meets another person's need. He doesn't realize his presence is a reward.
I don't.
Well, there you go. That's the problem. That's the real problem there. Now you can't even give that. You don't even value that as a reward. You don't value yourself as a reward.
But it is, Boggles, you can be fun to hang out with.
Oh, thank you, man.
Okay, let's see. Next paragraph. Let's make it through this. Tim, hit it.
Don't take everything we say seriously. Sarcasm is a beautiful thing. See the beauty in it. Don't get angry easily. Stop using magazines/media as your Bible. Don't talk about how hot Chris Brown, Brad Pitt, or Jesse McCartney is in front of us. It's boring and we don't care. You have girlfriends for that. Whatever happened to the word handsome/beautiful? I'd be utterly stunned by a girl who greeted me with hey handsome instead of hey baby, stud, cutie, sexy, or whatever else you could think of. On the other hand, I'm not saying I wouldn't like it either. What the fuck did you say?
I don't know. What did you say?
I just put up doing all the time. Hey, stud, you sexy.
Hold on. Whoa. Hold on. Zyger, you got your headphones on?
Headphones. Now I can put them on right now?
Yeah, because we're getting echo. Gotta have headphones on. Ding.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Tim.
It was just mostly babble. And then he's complaining again. It's like he's complaining to us again about something. I just don't get it.
Okay, let's find somebody who gets it. Zyger, reactions.
Yeah, this is pretty disgusting. I mean, the whole thing is kind of a passive thing. He's talking about what he'd like and what he wouldn't, but instead of directing behavior, he's really just like complaining about it. Like, I'd be utterly stunned by a girl who greeted me with "Hey, handsome," instead of "Hey, baby." Like, this doesn't make sense. He's implying that girls are calling him like "Hey, baby, stud, cutie, sexy." Like, I don't understand this. Like, what the hell is he implying here? But handsome, like I wouldn't want to be called "Hey, handsome." Like, he wants to be like.
I don't think the issue is.
his appearance.
I don't think the issue is the nickname, but I think you're touching on something that we'll cover in a second.
It seems very delusional.
Jar?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa! We got wait. Is that DKO? Is this Boggles or DKO?
It's Boggles.
Boggles, speak up.
I think, if that guy wants to be called handsome, he really wants that, but he's not getting his expectation met, so he's whining about it now. That, don't call me, you shouldn't be calling me these things, you should be calling me this. He wants to be called that way, but girls are not calling him that.
I think there's really a delusional issue here, but that's a minor point. Jar.
That's the way it starts. Like, don't think it's
Hold on, Zyger. Jar, hit it.
But what's delusional is that he's talking. This is a personal preference. He's trying to talk for all men, but right here he's just talking for himself. He'd rather be called handsome, but in my opinion, like I wouldn't mind sexy at all. Like, oh hey, sexy, that's not bad at all. So that's one thing that sends up.
Not really the issue I'm talking about. Anybody else know what I'm talking about? DBP.
Basically, it's just he's a whining her. He's not like telling her. He can't manage his expectations. He can't tell a chick, no, don't do this. You need to do this. Instead of just doing that, he's whining about it, saying, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? He's basically giving her the authority.
Leo. You got headphones on? Leo, you got headphones on?
Yes.
Okay. You got any reaction?
Yes, as anybody has said, for example, when the first time I read this, I don't know, my Mangina mind didn't tell me there was something wrong with it. But now I am realizing there are lots of mistakes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Lots of mistakes here. Let's hear from Snaky Guy.
Okay, well, to me, he starts out saying, don't take everything we say seriously, and then tries to make, I guess, I don't know, not demands, but like, whines at them.
Right.
He wants to do something, so it's like, don't take everything we say seriously. Now, here's what I'd kind of like you to do if you don't mind at a certain point.
Right.
Right. It's exactly. Isn't it hilarious how in the previous paragraph he says like, and when we tell you this, we freaking mean it. Don't tell us we're wrong. And then immediately later, don't take everything we say seriously.
Yeah, this is a guy.
No logic.
This
So
is
the overall theme is he's not getting his expectations met and he's whining about it.
This is a guy who is seriously has serious communication problems because on one hand he wants to be taken seriously, but he's like a chick. He expects you to know when he's being serious and when he's not being serious. For instance, he says sarcasm is a beautiful thing, and sarcasm is actually a terrible thing. This is a lot of the reason why he has so many problems. He's very indirect. He's very sarcastic. He's very passive aggressive. See the beauty in it. Don't get angry easily. Stop using magazines as your Bible. Don't talk about how. Okay. Don't talk about how hot Chris Brown, blah, 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 is in front of us. It's boring and we don't care. Actually, you do care. That's the reason why you're bringing it up. Whatever happened to the word handsome, beautiful? I'd be utterly stunned by a girl who greeted me with, hey, handsome. Okay, this is a guy who obviously doesn't understand attraction. Number one, he's talking about, physical beauty in the way that he thinks of physical beauty. When he thinks of a girl and you say, oh, that girl has a great ass, guys are very visually oriented, and guys pick up on that and they understand what it means when you say this girl's hot. It doesn't mean that she has a hot personality or that she has a hot job or she is, she's a rich person. It means she is physically hot. There are features about her that are physically attractive. Whereas when a girl says a guy is hot, she's taking into consideration many social things.
Right.
In addition to what he looks like physically, but mostly these social things. So she is looking at his hotness in a different way. So when he's hoping for, hey, handsome, etc., what he's delusionally hoping for is something that he can't fulfill yet because he doesn't know how to get his expectations met. He doesn't know how to be in charge of the relationship. This is what causes a girl to call a guy, hey, handsome, or hey, cutie. It's because he's taking charge, not necessarily that he's the most handsome guy in the world. You're not going to be the most handsome guy in the world. In fact, you may just be a plain-looking guy. You may not have these distinguishing Brad Pitt features about you. But if you have authority, you have a very attractive feature about you that makes you cute, that makes you handsome. It is this sense that girls get when they're talking to you. They call it charm, they call it charisma, etc. But this is how they view you in the general sense of your authority, not in the sense of they look at you physically up and down and go, oh, your jaw is this degree here, and your eyes are this color, and your shoulders are this width, therefore I think of you as this attractive to me. No, that is guy criteria you're applying to a girl. It doesn't work the same way.
We're wired differently, so.
Gender. Your gender processes things a different way. When you look at a girl, you're instantly, a girl, when she comes into a club, there's a lot of hot-looking guys in there. There's a lot of handsome guys in there. But she sees a room full of strange people. Whereas when you go in a club, you see, oh, there's a hot chick there, there's a hot chick there, there's a hot chick, there's an ugly chick, there's a hot, you start specifically picking out who's hot and who's ugly.
Right.
Where she says things in social terms and how things make her feel like. She'll be in a room full of people. She won't think, oh, here's a hot guy and here's 4 semi-attractive guys and here's this guy who's an ugly guy. No, she sees the group. She sees how the group is making her feel. Oh, I'm comfortable in front of all these people here. Or, I feel this way in the club. So she's not looking at it the same way you're looking at it. Who the fuck is talking to High School 101 in the chat room?
High school's going on typing and Leo told
Yeah, tell this fucker to stop typing.
About has the 2-hour mark.
Okay, he's not even in the fucking class.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. Indian guy. When you listen to this podcast, fuck off when you're not in the classroom. Go do something. Motherfucker. Okay, so, where was I? That's my train of thought. Okay, so she's looking at things a totally different way than you would look at things because that's just her girl's perspective. She is looking at things, remember, girls are submissive. Fucking cocksucker. Tell that guy to fuck off. What the fuck is his problem? DBP, tell him to fuck off. Tell him to stop typing.
I just did.
Oh, where am I? Okay. I forgot. Where was I? So she's looking at things from, you remember, girls are submissive and guys are dominant, or they're the ones in charge. So they come from a different dynamic. That doesn't even accurately cover what I'm trying to say here.
I got it all from before. You did a good job before.
This is more of just almost like a biological thing.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily think it's something interesting, but I don't think it's necessary to talk about or dwell on for our purposes. Last paragraph.
Good job, Perry, so.
Okay, great. Last paragraph. Hit it, Jar.
Can I read the last paragraph?
Who wanted to read last? Oh, Paper, go for it.
Me.
Zyger hasn't been here for a while. Let's get Zyger. Go for it.
Alright.
Just give me my opinion. You didn't ask for my opinion.
Oh, sorry, bud. Let's hear it. Sorry, let's hear from you. Let's hear from paper.
What? I want to read the last paragraph.
I thought we were going to hear from your opinion on the previous paragraph.
It's too last for the last paragraph. I already lost my train of thought on that.
All right, too bad. You're going to have to wait. Zyger, hit it.
Alright. Girls, I cannot stress this enough. If you aren't treating right by a guy, don't wait for him to change. Ditch his sorry butt, disgrace to the male population, and find someone who will treat you with utter respect. Someone who will honor your morals. Someone who will make you smile when you're at your lowest. Someone who will care for you even when you make mistakes. Someone who will love you no matter how bad you make them feel. Someone who will stop what they're doing just to look you in the eyes and say, I love you, and actually mean it. Give the nice guy.
Guys are not like opponents.
Give the nice guys a chance. Holy shit.
Okay, let's
So bad.
hear from Paperclip first.
All right. This guy, he's the kind of guy who's gonna make World War III happen. It's awful. I mean, he doesn't understand that by being a pushover, by letting a girl do whatever she wants, he's screwing her life up, and then future life, like the lives of future children. He's just causing chaos. I disagree with this guy.
Yes,
I feel like he has good intentions but terrible judgment.
that's very poignant. Good intentions, terrible judgment. Okay, Leo.
Yes, I am here.
We know you're here.
Okay.
I'm not taking roll again. I'm calling on you.
Yes. My impression on this is that, oh my God, he's letting her go away with a lot of, how do you say that? Unfunctional.
Say it in Spanish.
Say it in Spanish and paper will translate.
Okay. It's because it's difficult right now. He's letting her go away. He's letting her have her own dysfunctional behavior, and he's rewarding her for something that causes harm.
Yes, he is encouraging behavior by rewarding her for her dysfunctional behavior. He's encouraging it. He's perpetuating it.
Yeah, his perpetuation, for example, sarcasm. I don't like sarcasm. A lot of people don't like sarcasm, and I don't know why he's letting her rewarding her that expression, the sarcasm.
Yes, he's rewarding her for dysfunctional communication, for being a bad communicator. Let's go to DVP.
Honestly, this entire paragraph, I wasn't even listening because I'm just sick of this whole article.
Okay, let's go to Jar. I want to go to somebody who's listening. Jar was listening to the entire thing.
Yeah, I was listening. So, for me, this entire thing was summed up by the very last sentence. The entire 4 paragraphs. Give the nice guys a chance. Okay? And that's exactly how it illustrates how he's gone wrong throughout the entire thing. It's like it cleared it up for me. But of course, as, who said it? It was well-intentioned. Undoubtedly it was. I think everybody's well-intentioned. But it just shows that he has no clue what it means to have a functional relationship, or what it means to be in a healthy relationship.
Good intention, bad plan. Okay, BZS. BZS.
Oh, I think the someone who will care for you even when you make mistakes, someone who will love you no matter how bad you make them feel. I think that.
Hold on a second. Jar, I gotta let you go. I think it's yours, but it's in the class anyway. I'm gonna let you go. Okay, go ahead.
So I think those 2 sentences, the someone who will care for you even when you make mistakes, someone who will love you no matter how bad you make them feel, I think that really sums it up too, just because it's unconditional. It's sort of, he's implying that no matter what the girl does, he's going to be there rewarding her. So it's kind of, again, touching on what Leo, right? That's what he was talking about. But I think that really sums it up. I mean, this guy's just all over the place. He doesn't really have any expectations, obviously.
I think you hit a big one right there, is that no matter what she does, no matter how bad she is in a relationship, he's like okay with it. No problem. He sees that as like a romantic notion, like a Disney film. Like, if she's gonna screw up, it's okay, honey. I'll tolerate it. I'll be there for the relationship. And that's exactly what's going to kill the relationship. It's like, she sets fire to the house, he's gonna go, don't worry, honey, I'll build it as you're setting fire to it. I'll build the new addition to the house.
I can't believe this guy would have like a lot of experience, because it's like he thinks that if he does things this way, it's gonna work out just fine in the end.
Yes.
Well,
Snake.
this whole article is just hard to read because there's so much whining in it, and it's just he's repeating the same concept over and over, but he's just adding different shades of.
Yes, he's just he's discussing different things with the same passive aggressive voice.
Yeah.
Snaky guy.
Alright, so like the first sentence That sounds like something to me you might read in one of those, women's magazines that's written by some girl who's talking about abusive relationships.
Right.
It literally sounds like a woman's writing that to me.
Exactly. Sounds like a woman to me.
And then especially when he's talking about the someone who will love you no matter how bad you make them feel, I think that not only is he willing to do that for women, he expects that to be reciprocated.
Yes.
But he's not actually going to enforce it. So he's like, you don't like what I'm doing? You should love me anyway, because you could staple my balls to the wall and I'd still love you.
Yes.
That's kind of what I get from him.
It's definitely reciprocal in his head, so he has a delusional outlook in his head. He's like, look, if I have to accept all your bullshit, you have to accept all my bullshit too. So he has this kind of delusional view of this kind of romanticized relationship, this Disneyland relationship in his head.
Right. He thinks it's actually going to work.
Tim.
It sounds like he's ready to meet all of her expectations without knowing what they are. Like when he says they're just sorry but disgrace the male population and find someone who would treat you with respect, he's subjugating himself to her.
Yes, he's saying, I'm going to be the chick, you go ahead and call the shots, you're the guy in the relationship. And he's actually handling things like a chick would handle things. He's saying, look, here's what I hope will happen. Here's what I hope you'll do for me. I don't know how to get this expectation met, but I just hope this happens for us in the relationship. So he's a very passive guy. What's that?
I have a good analogy.
Okay.
The guy who wrote this is like somebody playing a video game where you're a doormat, and then he pressed pause, wrote that article, and then resumed playing as a doormat.
It's a very interesting analogy. He's a doormat. He's a video game doormat.
Thank you.
I was actually more confused.
Playing the video game. Look, this is my analogy. Playing the video game. And as he's playing the video game, he's a doormat in the game. Now he pressed pause, wrote that article, and then resumed the game again. And now he's once again a doormat.
Yeah, but I'm confused. I'm confused how your analogy applies.
Just it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I understand your analogy of the doormat, but I don't know why the reason for pausing the game and going back to being a doormat. I don't get that part. Thank you for confusing us at the end paper. Okay.
I'm confused too now.
Don't worry about it. This is the end of class. Thank you guys for joining us. As always, it's been a pleasure. Let's see, for tomorrow's class, we're going to go ahead and read expression posts. So we're going to work on expression hardcore. We're going to hit it, and we'll see you next time.